Ferrari, fifth in the championship, just 17 points on the board. And yes, that's after 2 rounds with Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc behind the wheel. Let that sink in. This is a team that started 2025 as title favorites, hailed for finally building a car, the SF25, that could challenge McLaren and Red Bull. And now, they're behind Williams, and their highest-ranked Ferrari-powered driver is Esteban Ocon in a Haas. So what happened? How did Ferrari collapse this fast, even with a 7-time world champion on their side? Stay with me, because we're about to break down what's going wrong, how it compares to Ferrari's darkest seasons, and whether this is a temporary stumble or the start of another Maranello meltdown. Let's start with the brutal numbers. After just 2 rounds, Ferrari sits 5th in the Constructors' Championship, a stat that sounds bad enough on paper, but when you add the context, Australia, botched qualifying, missed tire strategy, and P8 and P10 at the flag. China, Hamilton takes pole and wins the sprint, but disqualified on Sunday for excessive plank wear. Leclerc, disqualified too. His car was underweight. This wasn't just a bad weekend. It was a nightmare. And the result, their worst start to a season in the modern points era, even worse than the disaster of 2020. Back in 2020, Ferrari also came under fire after a controversial 2019 and a drop in engine performance. The SF1000 was a dog to drive, and even Sebastian Vettel struggled to stay motivated. After 2 rounds, they had 19 points, more than they have now. That year ended with Ferrari in 6th in the standings, their worst finish since 1980. So yes, statistically and performance-wise, 2025 is already off to a shakier start. And that's with Hamilton on board. Let that sink in. Ferrari are doing worse now with Lewis Hamilton than they did at the start of 2020 with a car that everyone knew was uncompetitive. The SF25 wasn't supposed to be another wait-and-see project. It was built to win, and the raw pace is there. Hamilton showed that with sprint pole and victory in China. But the car is fragile. The strategy is shaky, and worst of all, the operational mistakes are still happening. Disqualifications for setup errors? That's not just bad luck. That's avoidable. That's the kind of thing that makes fans say, same old Ferrari. And they're not wrong. 2014, 30 points after 2 rounds hybrid era begins. Alonso and Raikkonen drag an underpowered Ferrari through the early rounds. At least they finish both races. 2009, 0 points after 2 rounds. Yes, this was rock bottom, a total collapse. Double retirements, strategy disasters, and no points at all. But at least expectations were low. The difference in 2025? Expectations were sky high. And that makes this collapse feel even worse. It's hard to pin this on the drivers. Leclerc's pace is strong. Hamilton delivered a win in just his 2nd race weekend in red. Neither was responsible for the setup choices that led to their disqualifications. Ferrari promised Hamilton a competitive, structured environment to chase an 8th world title. So far, they've given him chaos. And while it's still early, the pressure is already mounting. There's no question the potential is there, but potential means nothing if it's not turned into points. Ask any Ferrari fan. We've seen this movie before. If they want to salvage 2025, they'll need to fix the internal miscommunication. Stop making strategic gambles without data. Get both cars to the finish, legally, every Sunday, because McLaren and Red Bull aren't waiting, and neither is the championship. So, what do you think, F1 fans? Is this the worst start we've seen from Ferrari in the modern era? Can they turn things around? Or are we watching another promising project fall apart before our eyes? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you're passionate about F1, not just the races, but the team politics, the drama, and the untold stories behind every lap, then this is your place. Like this video, subscribe to Paddock Insider. Hit the bell so you don't miss a thing. We'll be here to track every twist in Ferrari's roller coaster season, and whether Hamilton's dream in red can still be saved. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.